The first poem is called Two Ends of Bone and a Loan for a Horse. The stars were out of sync when my older sister Jean was born, one leg shorter than the other, and docs sliced the tibia on an angle, stretched the two ends of bone so the tips just touched and were kept in place with weights for months, her leg in a sling in the air. They also cut off her little toe. Did they need it as graft to fill a gap? I don't know. But for the rest of her life, she had to buy 2 pairs of shoes of different size to get one pair that fit. She married a meteorologist in World War II. He gave her a black eye, gave her 2 sons, Charles and Carl, before he flew from Pearl Harbor and disappeared with the craft and crew. Before he knew, Carl was born deaf and blind with a defective heart, back when doctors hadn't a clue what 3 days measles did to embryos. Jean always believed he'd come home. For years and years, she believed. Like Mother believed Dad would do after he ran off with a broad beam babe and sold our house, so we had to move to a crummy place where Mom made a home for Jean and her boys, took care of them, took care of Jean in her insane fits of grief and blame. It took several years, but Jean completed her college degree to teach, got a job, and lent me $100 to buy a horse. That endless summer of despair, my 2 brothers off to war, and me, a messed up, queer mother, couldn't accept. So I married a GI with a Harley and left. But first paid Jean every cent of my debt. She, the boys, and Ma moved from Ohio to Rhode Island so Carl could attend a school for the deaf where they taught him to speak, not sign. He spoke in a guttural voice, easily understood, and could see up close with Coke bottle glasses held in place by an elastic belt around his head. So life was good as Charles grew into a brilliant college kid, got his degree, got drafted to be a helicopter gunner in Vietnam, and sent home with a fatal blow, schizophrenia, and the endless hell of voices, medications, hospitalizations. Can't keep a job, can't keep it up, won't take the meds, and forever a danger to himself and others. Jean, scared to death, locked her bedroom door at night, drank to get to sleep. So that's the way it went until at 21, Carl died of his defective heart. Ma called it quits with a stroke at 78. And Charles, with his voices, age 51, died of gangrene in the foot he would not treat. In her final years, Jean finally found some peace at a place called Happy Acres, where she eventually died in her sleep, curled in a fetal ball. The money in her personal needs account, to which my brother and I sent checks every month, none of it was ever spent. So it's over and done. Except at times, I wake up at night, think about 2 ends of bone stretched in a sling, and no personal needs in her life, and the $100 loan for a horse to love that kept me from getting a gun. just finished yesterday. So you're guinea pigs, okay? It's called investment. I did it. Bit the bullet. Bought a new RV, 2013 Class C, cab over camper on a Ford 350 like the one I wrecked and sold 6 months ago. And caved into conventional thinking that at 87 it's time to hang it up, give up what I love, and I did, and sank into depression, didn't want to get out of bed, condemned myself to a boring what's left of my life. Until I finally think it through. Figure I got a couple more good years. Discover an annuity, earning practically nothing, that I've saved for my old age, and hey, I'm there! And wisely reinvesting big time.